Trump riding wave into summer amid string of victories. I mean, Trump is getting is serving win after win after win after win. Y'all know I keep talking about that quote that that uh something that he said when he was running for the 2024 election. He says we're going to be winning so much, y'all going to get tired of winning, and I don't see me ever getting tired of winning. No matter how much the Democrats try to downplay it, they try to pretend like things aren't going well and all this doom and gloom and fear mongering. People are actually optimistic, and I'm pretty happy about what's going on. And we're going to talk about it, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Conservative Brief, and they report that President Donald Trump is riding a surge of momentum after signing his $3.3 trillion big, beautiful bill on Friday, capping off a string of major victories for his administration in recent weeks. The bill's passage follows a series of high-profile wins, including a favorable Supreme Court ruling and successful precision strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, Fox News reported. Quote, President Trump has delivered more wins for the American people in 2 weeks than most presidents do in 4 years, with White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said in a Thursday statement to Fox News Digital. This has been the most historic 2 weeks of any administration in history. Thanks to President Trump, America is back and it's the hottest country in the world, she added. The tax and domestic policy bill reached President Trump's desk after the House passed the final version on Thursday, meeting his self-imposed deadline to have the legislation finalized by the 4th of July. You know, we all saw the pictures of him signing it on the 4th of July. The bill features several key provisions, including the permanent extension of individual and business tax cuts originally enacted under Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. It also introduces new deductions aimed at eliminating taxes on tips and overtime pay. A win for the average American. Even though the media, the Democrats and the media lie and pretend like these Trump tax cuts only benefit the rich, when in actuality it benefited the middle class the most. I've went over the studies before from the GAO that talked about this. And if you just look at your own life, look how your taxes went down under this tax bill. I know mine did. But one of the more controversial elements is a $5 trillion increase in the debt ceiling, a move that has drawn criticism from figures like SpaceX and Tesla CEO Elon Musk. And I'm a critic of that as well. Like, moving the debt ceiling, raising our debt, that's irresponsible. Instead of getting spending under control, they're raising the debt limit. I don't agree with that at all. In addition, the legislation rolls back several Biden-era green energy tax credits and directs roughly $350 billion towards defense spending and Trump's large-scale deportation initiative targeting illegal immigration, Fox added. The measure also enacts major Medicaid reforms, including a new requirement that recipients work at least 80 hours per month. It further expands work requirements for those receiving benefits under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. And I'm all for that. You shouldn't be able to continue. I mean, I'm talking about able-bodied people. I'm not talking about people that have physical issues, mental issues, they can't work, people that needs it, that have like a single mother with kids. I get that. Nobody is saying they shouldn't get assistance with that. We're talking about the able-bodied people that should be working and sitting on their butts and not working, not contributing to the economy, not paying any taxes when they're able to. There's nothing wrong with these people. These are the people that are getting kicked off of this program or having to work to get assistance from this program. And a majority of the people believe in this. And back in the day under Bill Clinton was someone that wanted this as well. You just shouldn't be able to, if nothing's wrong with you, you shouldn't be able to just sit on your butt and collect assistance from the government. You should contribute to society. Just like the Bible says, if you don't work, you don't eat. You should be able to contribute to something, contribute to society. And if you're not, your free lunch is over with, and we're all for that. Trump has had several other major victories too. On June 21st, the United States launched airstrikes targeting critical Iranian nuclear facilities involving more than 125 U.S. aircraft, according to General Dan Kane, chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. Y'all know I was highly critical of that as well. I don't think we had no business doing anything to Iran. They ain't do nothing to us. Yeah, they talk a lot of trash, but who don't talk trash? You know what I'm saying? They say death to America. I get all that. But we really had no reason to go in and blow them up. I don't believe. The international address following the strikes, President Trump declared that the nuclear sites had been, quote, completely and totally obliterated. General Dan Kane added that initial battle damage assessments indicate all three sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction. He said, we have degraded their program by 1 to 2 years. At least intel assessments inside the Department of Defense assesses that. Defense Department spokesman Sean Purnell told reporters Wednesday. Trump has also had several legal victories, and these are the biggest ones, not including the big beautiful bill. I think these are really, really big victories as well. On June 27th, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 to bar lower courts from using universal injunctions, even though they're still continuing to do this, though. They're still doing this for some reason. And several of President Trump's executive orders during his second term, including his ban on birthright citizenship, have been stalled by such nationwide injunctions of nationwide rulings. The Supreme Court's decision limits lower courts to issuing broad injunctions only in rare, narrowly defined circumstances, a move Trump said would put an end to what he called colossal abuse of power. I mean, they're basically legislating from the bench is what was going on with that. He said, quote, I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months, we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively trying to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers, Trump said on June 27th. On Tuesday, CBS News parent company Paramount Global agreed to a $16 million settlement with President Trump over a lawsuit he filed in October 2024. The suit stemmed from a 60 Minutes interview featuring his 2024 election opponent, Vice President Kamala Harris. In the lawsuit, Trump claimed that CBS deceptively edited Vice President Harris's interview by omitting her initial, less polished response to a question about why Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't listening to the Biden administration. We all remember that. The settlement funds will not be paid directly to Trump, but will instead be allocated towards his future presidential library and used to cover the plaintiff's legal fees and costs, Fox reported. CBS stated that the agreement was reached through mediation and confirmed that Paramount would not issue an apology as part of the settlement. So there you have it. Win after win after win. He's winning. I think America's winning. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.